As the Future Generations Commissioner for Wales, I have powers under Section 20 of the Future Generations Act to review how a public body is implementing the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act. This means I can go into that institution to interview people, to ask for documentation and to review their processes, policies and the decisions that they've taken. Over the course of the last 7 years, we've seen some hugely progressive policies come from Welsh Government, from the care leavers basic income to changes in the way that we plan our transport, to reforms to the education curriculum and to our commitment to be a zero waste nation by 2050. The Future Generations Act is the biggest cultural change programme Wales has ever seen, and that's why it's so important to test whether the processes, whether the culture and whether the leadership role that Welsh Government has is truly embedding the Act. One of the things that we've done is to work collaboratively with the Welsh Government on this review. That's been hugely positive and hugely important because it's meant that working jointly we're able to address some of the things that we're finding immediately rather than wait till the end of the review. And I've been hugely encouraged by the commitment of the Welsh Government to work with me jointly to do that. It's clear that civil servants within the government are enthusiastic about the Act and want to implement it. But we also found that sometimes there's a discrepancy between the level of enthusiasm and commitment from civil servants and their technical understanding of how to apply the Act. And this is an area which needs to be addressed. We've also found that there needs to be perhaps some further support for civil servants to better aid their understanding, and also some reforms to the processes of Welsh Government. The processes that Welsh Government have implemented to embed the Future Generations Act are not always being used effectively, and there are some gaps in their governance mechanisms. I've also found that there are further opportunities that the Welsh Government could seize to really embed future generations' thinking throughout their relationships with the rest of the public sector, the third sector and the private sector. We can see that there's a huge amount of enthusiasm even beyond those organisations that have statutory duties under the Act. The Football Association of Wales, for example, using the Future Generations Act as their framework, increasing number of private sector organisations and hundreds of third sector organisations. So the Welsh Government must seize that. In everything it does, it must communicate clearly that we're doing this within the framework of the Future Generations Act. Using different words, different terminology is often confusing to those within government and those outside of government, and it distracts from a Team Wales approach of embedding future generations thinking. Overall, there's been a huge amount of progress in embedding the Future Generations Act in Welsh Government, but there's still more work to do. I want the Welsh Government to stretch itself to go further, to make sure that every colleague in the civil service understands the statutory duties and has the tools to implement them, and that effective assurance is provided to senior level politicians and senior level civil servants that that is being done. I'm hugely optimistic about this. The Welsh Government have already committed to developing an improvement plan. I am working jointly with them to help them with that improvement plan and to help them on their journey. I think we can be proud of everything that Wales has already achieved, proud of the fact that what we are doing here in Wales is still world leading, and proud of the fact that we are acting today for a better tomorrow.